TV and compared the Gaza Strip to a concentration camp. And if you think I'm making this up, listen to clip 5. This is Ron Paul, January 5th, 2009.
It's our money and our weapons, but I think we encouraged it. Certainly the president has said nothing to diminish it. Matter of fact, he justifies it on moral grounds that, oh, they have a right to this, without ever mentioning the tragedy of Gaza. You know, the real problems that are there. To me, I look at it like a concentration camp, and people are making homemade bombs, and like they're the aggressors.
Okay, so the lunatic Ron Paul is now in camp with Hezbollah, Hamas, and all the Jew haters of the world. So I rest my case. I just rest my case. The fact of the matter is, the man is so wrong on so many different levels, it's not worth even arguing with him. WOR, go ahead, please.
Michael, it won't make any difference if Obama wins or not, because all the Republican candidates are the same. And you know, the only candidate, the deranged Ron Paul, is the only one who has spoken out against not only NDAA, but against SOPA, Stop Online Piracy Act. He spoke out against the Patriot Act years ago. He's the only one warning about the fascism and the oppression coming to America, and he's been right. And let me...
Well, he is... hold on. He is right, but he's unelectable.
You supported John McCain 4 years ago, and who is the author of...
Whoa. Hold on a minute. Wait, stop. You wanted me to support Obama?
No. I want you to support the candidate that supports the Constitution, and it doesn't...
Wait. Don't get hysterical, please. It's one thing to say the man has some good ideas and some crazy ideas. It's another thing to be a realist and ask yourself, could he beat Obama? You don't really believe that he could beat Obama, do you?
Obama. That's where you're wrong. You think nutcase Newt can beat Obama? You think that's
no. When did I say? Wait, ma'am, stop. You're sounding. You sound like you're hysterical. You're sounding just like Ron Paul. Why are all the Ron Paul addicts so hysterical? I'd like to know.
Because they care about this country and they're tired.
You mean only you care about the country? I don't care about the country. You care more than I do.
You don't. But let me just say this. The Republicans are no different from the Democrats. Not one of them has spoken out against NDAA or SOPA or the Patriot Act. They're all for going over and bombing all over.
Well, you're wrong. When you say none of them have spoken out, what do you mean? None of the Republican senators?
None of the Republican candidates have spoken out against NDAA except for Ron Paul.
Okay, on this point, you are correct, but that still does not make the crackpot electable.
He's not a crackpot, Michael. He's been saying things that you agree with, but
really?
Somehow
he's been saying things I agree. You mean I agree that Israel should be annihilated and disappeared off the planet like he does?
Say that, Michael, and you know. Come on, you're smarter than most of the people who listen to your show.
What do you mean? You want me to play the soundbite? I will be happy to play the soundbite of Ron Paul basically calling for Israel's non-existence.
No, he's not. And he's the only one. Let me remind you, in 1980 or 81, when Israel bombed the nuclear power plant in Iran, you know, the only one who supported Israel was Ron Paul, because Ron Paul believes that Israel should take care of herself. She should have the right to defend herself without any kind of overseer by the United States.
That's all well and good, but where's Israel supposed to get its arms from, since all of its weaponry is American?
Hey,
other than the domestically manufactured material, where's Israel supposed to get its munitions from? The bunker-busting bombs that it has come from the United States of America, so that's a moot point to say Israel should defend itself. Without weapons, it can't defend itself.
It's got plenty of weapons, Michael, and you know it. It's got more weapons probably than we do by now, and they do a damn pretty good job of defending themselves. Remember the raid on Entebbe? They do very well.
Entebbe was a long time ago. That's when they had real leadership in Israel, before the people with Saks Fifth Avenue charge accounts in New York took over the country. That's before the Russians came to Israel. That's when Israel was still Israel. Israel's a shell of its former self.
And it's up to Israel to get its own leadership, like it's up to the United States to get its leadership that's authorized by the Constitution and restore.
I agree with you, but you're still not answering the fundamental question, Barbara, because I think you're blinded with passion, which in some ways is a good thing, but also you don't have the long vision. I'm trying to bring you up to a final debate between Ron Paul and Barack Obama. Now, forget the ideas. Do you understand that many elections are based upon looks rather than on substance?
Michael, I don't care. I've been voting since 1972, and I voted for George McGovern because he was anti-war. So it's not like I'm naive, and I just was born
So you're
yesterday.
confirming what I suspect, that most people who support Ron Paul are dyed-in-the-wool liberals.
I'm not a liberal, Michael.
Well, what would you say? What would you say McGovern was?
I'm an American who believes.
Well, now you're parsing words. Most supporters of Ron Paul are diehard liberals, only they confuse themselves into thinking that they're libertarians.
Not true, Michael. And if you want to find...
Are you by any chance a Unitarian religious-wise?
No, I'm Jewish, Michael. I'm Jewish.
No, the reason I ask is because many libertarians are simply liberals who are Unitarian, and they don't even understand that.
I'm Jewish, and I'm a constitutionalist, and I believe in this country.
Look, I respect your opinion. I respect your right to have an opinion on Ron Paul. He's unelectable, though, because I understand the American public probably as well, if not better than most. I'm telling you, you put this crackpot on the stage and Obama on the other side of the stage. It's a landslide for Obama.
I disagree with you, Michael.
All right, we can disagree as friends. My father's store had a little sign in it that said, "Don't go away, Mayor, just go away." That's the sign that hangs over the microphone here in the Savage Studio. It doesn't say, "Don't go away, Mayor, just go away." He had that little sign in his antique store. I used to love that sign. I'll be right back, right here on the Savage Nation, to talk about the